Good afternoon. Today is May 28th, 2026. The time is 1:03, and we're going to start this afternoon CELCAB meeting. We call this meeting to order. My name is Lizette Roman. I am the Town Clerk Administrative Coordinator, and let's get started. We do have one of our chair is wanting to participate virtually for this meeting. Could we have a motion from the committee to accept Ms. Cherry?
I so move that we allow Sherry Smith to preside over our CELCAB meeting.
You're not
via
on.
Zoom. Oh, sorry. I make the motion that we allow Sherry Smith, our chair, to preside over our meeting via Zoom. May I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you
Sherry.
very much. So we can go ahead and admit our chair virtually. Can you hear us?
Oh, it's a different, that's Carrie.
Yeah, well, she'll be on too.
Do we need to do Carrie too?
Yes, we will need another motion
Okay.
to accept Ms. Carey.
Hi. They just let me in the meeting. Can you
Good.
guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, good. All right, perfect.
Do we have a
Accept the meeting.
secondary?
We're waiting for Sherry.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
Can you say that again? We couldn't get through to that.
It's true. It's true.
Yes.
We have a quorum anyway. Okay.
They're on that phone, coming in from the phone call.
Is that Sherry?
Is that Sherry, you guys?
No, that's Ellen.
Sherry's
Oh,
not
that's
able to
Ellen.
Participate. This is Ellen, and
Okay.
I have my video turned off because I'm in a public place.
Okay.
All right, we're waiting for Sherry. Is Sherry?
Sherry is not participating. I was supposed to chair the meeting, but I'm in Cincinnati, so I reached out to Amy to ask how to proceed, and then I reached out to Karina and I asked if Barbara would chair the meeting.
Okay, so we will need a secondary motion to allow the new chair to chair.
Do we need a motion to allow Carrie, to admit Carrie? I move
Yes.
to admit Carrie and Ellen to the meeting via phone and video.
That is correct.
Agreed.
Second.
Second.
I make a motion in the absence of the chair to allow Barbara, and the vice chair to allow Barbara Hill to chair the meeting.
I second.
Do
All
we
in
have
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so Ms. Hill is going to chair the meeting. Thank you.
It's like old times.
Can you turn off your phone, your audio on your phone?
Well,
Thank you.
That's right.
Okay, everyone, this is like old times. Good afternoon, and we did have the meeting called to order. Sherry, is there some,
I think Ellen's phone might need to be muted.
Yeah, it needs to be muted. Thank you.
thank you, Carrie. Okay, so since the meeting has already been called to order, I'd like to begin by having the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and we'll have roll call. We'll begin with Carrie. Roll call.
Carrie Henderson?
Okay. Ellen? I don't
Ellen
hear.
Vaughn.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. And Lori?
Lori Wolf.
Carolyn McCowan.
Barbara Hill?
Becky Werner.
Karina Brites.
John McLean.
Hi, John. Good afternoon. Great to
Sorry
have
for
you
being
here.
a little bit late.
That's
A
it. You're not-
contractor.
You're actually not late, you're actually just on time. We've had a switch of protocols, but we are managing without our chair and vice chair, and I'm filling in.
Wonderful.
Okay, we don't have anyone in the audience, so we'll move forward with the approval of the minutes from April 23rd. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? May I have a motion to approve?
Move approval of the minutes of April 23rd.
Okay, thank you. A second?
Second.
Okay, Lori, thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Unanimously approved for the minutes of April 23rd. Thank you. Old business, so I'm turning the meeting over now to Karina, our museum manager.
Okay, thank you. We are going to go over the strategic action plan that we've been working on. And it's, I updated all the information and wanted to go over everything with you today.
So before we're not going to do the staff report, we're going to jump right in to the strategic plan. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I think we should.
Okay, so if you'll all go into your materials there and pull up the Mound House strategic plan, which is the last part of the, well, actually, it's not the last part, it's one of many that she's handed out, with our draft of the strategic action plan dated May 2026. And I'm hoping, we all received this from Karina via email, and I'm hoping you all had an opportunity to review this.
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Carrie. Karina and I worked on this for a few hours.
Yes, yes.
And I would hope that you all agree that the division of the responsibilities was much more clearly defined with the changes that you made. So you can look at the headings that say programs, operations, marketing, development, all now in a clearly defined category.
That looks good.
Nice work.
I don't see the mission here. I know that the first thing we had was the mission and the vision. Where's
It's on
that
the
page?
page number 2.
Page what?
Number 2. So it should be,
No,
no?
I have page
Mission.
number 2, the values, but I don't have the mission.
It's missing from the packet.
Oh, it is.
1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Yeah, we're missing a page or two.
13.
Yeah.
Missing that page.
You're missing that. Okay.
Yeah, there's a few that are missing.
So I would think that if we can get that page,
Yeah,
that would be,
let me,
It looks like the even numbers are missing.
okay. Let me get that to you right now.
and actually, we're going to have these restapled because we need to have them in the proper sequence for the purpose of this conversation.
Of course. Let me just make sure that, oh, I see. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. For some reason, it,
They're only printed the.
yeah. Okay, let me see if I can print them there.
It looks really good.
Okay.
I like the division.
Let me make sure I have the correct one here. All right.
For the purpose of just a conversation while we're waiting for Karina, we had in the early strategic plan the goal of rotating exhibitions. And I just want to be clear as to you feeling comfortable with the word rotating and what does that mean? Anybody want to have a conversation about that? As opposed to a permanent exhibition? I think the intent was that these exhibitions would ultimately rotate. I think one case in point has sort of already happened with the exhibit of the bathroom being converted to the Conservation Collections Archive area.
Well, and I think the plan of moving things around, but also, you know, when new artifacts have been, or new information is updated or gathered or verified, you know, that some things can be changed and replaced and moved around. And, you know, I think almost all, we all learned when we went down to see the last of the Marco cat that that cat was going to be put in a drawer for a number of months because it needed to rest from being on display.
Exactly.
And you know, so that it's rotating displays, or just rotating exhibitions, but I also would think that there may be ways to exchange, I'm hoping, exchange exhibition pieces and parts maybe with other museums
Great
that would be
idea.
part of that.
Great idea.
And maybe
Becky.
working with Pineland and the Marco Museum and anybody else who, you know.
Even with the corrections, I was thinking,
Oh,
too.
wouldn't that be
Yes,
interesting?
Because that's the
Yes.
state
Yes.
park initiative. So that's certainly an opportunity. And in addition, when there's an idea for developing a new exhibition, that funding would be available to allow that project to happen. So it wouldn't necessarily be rotating, but there would be an exhibition currently in place that would be taken out for the purpose of a new exhibition coming in. And part of that is obviously as discoveries are made and there's new ways to tell the message, share the message, but more importantly, to build new audiences, bring back returning guests. But that won't come for a while because we barely have money in the budget for maintaining the status quo. And even the obvious problem is the one with the underground exhibit not even being shareable.
Well, and also maybe another duty or job or
Responsibility.
thank you, responsibility would be to begin looking for outside funding to change exhibits around and you know, and bring in new things or, you know, and we had that cart, which was supposed to do that. I don't know if you, Caroline, if you ever saw the cart. Lori, you certainly were part of the development, and that was a huge, extremely heavy trailer that could hardly be pulled.
Right.
Needed to be pulled by a heavy-duty truck. But it had drawers with artifacts in it, and it had pictures, photographs.
I have not seen that.
It won awards. It was untenable because the tires couldn't hold it really, so it kept losing air. But they had taken photographs of the layers in the underground, and they were put on some material and then covered the whole of this. It was the size of a small trailer, about 5-6 feet high, with drawers in it that some of them had plastic on top, so they could be pulled out to show, you know, artifacts and what had been found in the dig and things like that. It was fascinating. It needed more engineering.
And do we
The
know what
artistry was
happened?
good.
Yeah, do we know what happened to it?
It was in the shed for a very long time. I
That's a
don't
good-
know.
That's a good question to ask Karina when she gets back.
And I think it might have been gone by the time Karina. Certainly, it was in the shed the kayak shed for a long time. I think,
This is Ellen, and Becky?
Yes.
I think you have a wealth of information that predates almost anyone else other than Seal, who's still with us. And I would recommend that Brianna interview you so that she has a record of all these things that were done. And Karina and I have been talking about funding plans that the Friends could execute on behalf of the Mound House. And resurrecting something like that that was properly engineered, I think would be fabulous. So I'm going to go back on mute.
Yeah, I still don't know what happened to it. I think it just disappeared because it couldn't be pulled. It was too heavy. I think it disappeared well before Ian.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, it was gone before I got involved, and I got involved in like 2012.
Okay,
I don't
Okay.
remember it at all.
okay.
So that's been gone a long, long time.
It was primarily for the purpose of taking it to the schools as part of our educational
Yes.
outreach
I was
program.
getting ready to say that would
Yes.
sound ideal to get something like that going again.
Or, or summer fairs or any kind
Any
of,
kind of public gathering.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an important piece of information to bring up. Thank you, Becky, because really, that is a cultural asset that belongs as property to the town, part of our collection, and so we do need to have
That
some
is something that-
investigation as to what happened to it. I mean, did staff just
So it's a
arbitrarily
fundraising
throw it out?
matter.
I think it
would
was
think that was
de-accession.
Something you could get people to get behind.
During one of the councils that didn't like the.
Oh, well, yes, there was that.
I think it might have been one of the directors. And
could've
it
been
was
that, too.
just, it was in the way. We couldn't put, and then we got the electric vehicle to bring people back and
Right.
forth from the
Parking lot.
parking lot. And then we needed to be able to, and I think that's when it disappeared. And yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up, Becky.
And I'm sure we can find information, because it did win awards.
Oh, yes.
And
I think it
was
was
written
Teresa
up
that
and-
that
Was
developed
it there
it.
while
I think so
Allison was
too, yes,
director?
definitely.
It might have been before Allison. It might have been Allison.
No, it
wondering-
was
No,
Teresa.
It was Teresa.
Oh,
It was
Teresa did
that
it.
developed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yes, she did it. And probably got a grant to do it.
Yeah, she was,
I suspect.
yeah.
She was a mastermind at grant writing,
She
for
was
certain.
wonderful. And I know, well,
Well, let's keep her number on speed dial
I think it is.
for grants.
In addition to rotating exhibitions.
And grants are one of the main things that Karina and I have been talking about, trying to get rejuvenated.
Yes, well, I guess the task now is to have Karina do some research as to what happened to it. Now, as far as the CELCAB members here, though, while we're still waiting for Karina, are there elements of this strategic plan that you feel covered all that we had in our original strategic plan? Did we miss anything, I guess, is the question.
I think we would have to do a comparison here. Because I wouldn't know it from memory.
And part of, the conversation today has to do with what should be considered short-term and what should be considered long-term. And the ST and the short, and the LT stand for short and long-term. And then we have in here also the issue of the underground exhibit. I don't see that here. It's under
It's on the first page.
exhibitions, yes.
Page 5.
The research feasibility that Karina feels comfortable thinking that she can accomplish that during our 2026 year, which I think is very positive. I'm excited about having that on the front burner.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
So if this becomes something that we can review and hopefully vote on today, or maybe with some changes, that we can get a monthly report from staff as to what that feasibility research discovers.
Such a wonderful picture.
John, do you have any questions? Did you have a chance to go through this at all?
Sorry, yeah, I had a quick review of it, but I didn't have any
Okay.
questions that were popping up. I guess the one thing I did was talked about National Historic Landmark status as long-term. I thought that was something that we had two different ways, one of the archaeological and one of the building.
The,
Is that not-
the designation?
Yeah.
Well, we have the historic landmark
The historic
one,
register.
the register, but we don't have the national landmark status
Ah, I
yet.
see.
They're
Okay.
two different plaques, really, and, you know, so it requires, as we've learned with the original one, tremendous amounts of work. Seal was very instrumental in making that, pushing that forward, so that the, and I'm trying to see what page that's on with the,
It's
oh,
on-
yeah, secure the national. So we did have originally on the strategic plan the historic
Historic,
landmark. and
now
that-
it's another,
And that's achieved, so
Yes.
that's no longer
Registered.
part of our strategic plan because we accomplished that goal, which I thought was really wonderful to compare the old notes with these current notes to see what has been done. But now we still have this one to do as the National
I have to say
Historic
that
Landmark.
Seal and I went up to watch the hearing when they did that in the Capitol. And, you know, we're ready. We're ready to fire and say, well, you've got to do this. And what they kind of said is, what took you so long?
Wow,
Kind of,
really?
Where have you been?
Wow.
So, and it was sort of like, well, of course we're going to do this. It was my feeling, and maybe that was over-optimistic, but we were going to fight for it, and
Well, and you know, Teresa was very hands-on with the State National Trust for Historic Preservation, and I think she served on the Florida Trust for a number of years as a board member. So she was in the trenches on the statewide level to get that recognition for the
well, then
Mountain House.
it was Allison who pushed it.
And that was Allison that pushed it.
The one
Exactly.
from the printer.
So we have the color version and the black and white version.
Well, that'll help distinguish where we are.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, yes,
Oh,
now
no, you
we're,
did the whole thing.
now we're on the front page.
Okay.
Okay, you all now will have a copy of the completed, or the more complete document draft. Again, this is a draft, this is not the final version, because this is the primary topic of our conversation today on the agenda. To review this at length and question everything and make sure that all of the things that we've got here, and who the people, who will be responsible, and most importantly, what the timeline will be vetted by this committee. So, starting off with the mission, and if you remember from our last month's meeting, I think we had an issue with regard to 2,000 years of history, and Karina and I talked about that, and when we voted on it, or maybe had a consensus during our last meeting, we said thousands of years, if you remember, and we felt that was too ambiguous. I'd love your input on that, because we went back to what it said originally, 2,000 years.
What if we said more than?
More than 2,000? I think it was less than. I think that was the issue at hand, right?
I had a copy of it.
Karina, would you speak to that?
Yes, I believe that, well, if we leave it at 2,000 years, it really doesn't, well, you know, as time goes by, it could be more, right? So that's why we were
We
kind of
have
stuck on
exhibits that
that.
go back 12,000 years.
Okay,
Or we have signage that goes back 12,000 years.
that's true. But I think it's, this is specifically talking about cultural and environmental history of Fort Myers Beach. But yes, I see what you're saying in terms of land and, you know, prehistoric, what the prehistoric environment was many years before. So if that's true, and that has been true since the inception of the Mound House, how was it settled at 2,000 years? That is a rhetorical
I
question
think
at
that
this
was
point.
that was the term we used as the beginning of the mound. But really, we're talking about Fort Myers Beach and Southwest Florida, and we know it goes back further than that. And maybe, but 2,000 years is an easy one to remember. And I mean, we could say more than
I think over is adequate.
interpret
Over.
over 2,000.
Over.
Yeah.
Okay. I
think
wasn't
it's
even
adequate.
looking at that, you're
Yeah.
right.
And we can circle back on, you know, if you want me to come up with other ideas, you know.
Well, the mission
that.
is real core. This is really probably the most important thing that we're gonna be discussing is what the heck are we doing? Right? So the mission is real core to virtually everything else that's happening here. So maybe over 2,000 years of cultural history
Yeah,
is
yeah.
significant enough, but at least it puts it in context.
Right.
Because we're not, as far as the exhibits are concerned, we're not talking about, you know, mammoths, for example.
we are not.
We do have that interpretive panel, right? So I think maybe over 2,000 years, maybe just sort of covers it just
I
fine.
think it's
I
accurate.
think so.
I
I
do,
think it's good.
Okay,
I agree.
okay, and then we said with present and future generations, and then to inspire all who visit to enjoy and be enriched by this unique coastal environmental experience and its diverse cultural history.
I like it.
Yes.
I can tell you that in the current political climate today, that word diverse is a very red flag
I
for a
agree.
lot
I
of
thought
grant
about that.
writing. Am I correct, Karina?
Yes, you are.
So that is, how did we have our
Can we say
original?
rich instead?
Very.
I mean, that would go.
Very. Synonym.
I did think about that when I was reading it the first time.
Right. Let me see what I have written. How did we have it in the original strategic plan? So, the original strategic plan says, encourage, the experience encourages education, preservation, and enjoyment of our culture, our history, culture, and environment. So it doesn't use the word diverse. I had the word rich in one point, but then we had enriched, and that seemed repetitive in that same vision, right? Enriched versus,
True.
so do we leave it in? Because we're not gonna get any grants anytime soon anyway.
And it's in the reverse.
I know, I looked it up too with the
Yeah.
synonyms.
Varied means the same thing.
Right. Broad.
Broad.
Wide-ranging cultural history.
Oh, I like wide ranging.
Wide ranging. Actually, I do like that.
Okay.
It's more wordy, unfortunately, but
What if we said to inspire those who visit? Not all who, I don't know, that seems a little. To inspire visitors.
Unique. Cultural history.
You've already got unique coastal environment.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
I also think varied works.
Varied,
I
Cultural.
think so too.
Do you not sometimes go out on excursions and take the story on the road? And if, in hoping to educate school children, things like that? And the vision is basically limiting it to those who come to the facility?
great point, John. Excellent point. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
How do we,
I hadn't thought that far.
but you're absolutely right, because outreach is a very core part of our mission, is to, go to the schools, go to the community groups. Absolutely.
So you
So,
could say,
Take that.
to inspire and educate.
To inspire the enjoyment and enrichment of this unique coastal, enrichment by this unique coastal environment and varied history. To inspire all to enjoy and be enriched by.
I like the word rich cultural history at the end, because that's sort of more succinct. So then we'd have to change the word enriched in the first part to be,
Educated?
Well,
maybe
education's-
inspired is where that word
Okay.
belongs.
Educated and inspired. I think I'm taking too much of an active role, sorry.
That's
To
fine.
be inspired, obviously, education is a very core part of our
Yes.
mission. So we've not put the word educate into our mission, but definitely education is part of it.
And
To educate and inspire.
Or to educate through, or to inspire through education.
To educate and inspire,
inspire sounds religious to me. Encourage? No, that's not right either. To educate. To educate, inspire enjoyment, and
To promote and educate the public about our unique coastal environment and diverse cultural history.
and its rich cultural history, Beth?
To encourage all who visit and engage in outreach efforts to enjoy and be enriched by this unique coastal environment experience and its wide-ranging cultural history.
And I think can we say rich cultural history at that point? That kind of does shorten it a bit. Wide-ranging is fine, but if we're not going to use, well, read that again.
To encourage all who visit and engage in outreach efforts to enjoy and be enriched by this unique coastal environment experience and its wide-ranging cultural history.
are we using enriched and rich? We have to come up with.
So I think,
Yeah.
no, she used the word enrich, so yeah, let's take out
Okay.
rich then, put wide-ranging.
Read it, could you read it again, please?
To en-
Change wide-ranging to varied.
I like rich.
We
Well,
would
she's
use it.
using enriched in the
Ah, I
first part
see,
of the
I see.
sentence there.
There you go.
I liked rich too. I mean, that was a struggle for me when we were first having this conversation.
Can you read it again?
to encourage all who visit and engage in outreach efforts to enjoy and be enriched by this unique coastal environmental experience and its wide-ranging cultural history.
It seems,
Feels like you have to work the word educate somewhere into
yes.
the sentence.
But isn't educating enriching by definition?
That's what I'm wondering. I think this is somewhat redundant. I agree
Yes.
with you. There's something about that that is not, yeah, you're right.
So we can take the
Because
enriched out.
if you're becoming more educated, you are being enriched. So it's,
Yeah.
yes.
And then we can put rich cultural history
And I
back
think,
in.
you know, the idea of a vision statement has to do with the fact that in a perfect world, this is what we want
To
the
accomplish.
public to feel, to experience. And
Yes.
it's experiential. It is enriching.
Yes,
Those are the two, and education is part of that.
yes.
Instead of educated by, can we say to learn? As opposed, I mean, it's passive is,
To be enriched by the Mound House experience also implies those who visit and those who are part of outreach. So
Well, and
instead
you
of
can
using
have
the
an-
word
Encompassing.
visit, not say, just say the Mound House experience. Or
yeah,
that, I
because the
guess,
Mound House experience can be out at a fair somewhere
exactly.
with-
They're going to experience.
with our new card.
Heck, it's gonna be AI. I'm sure the cart's gonna be history in terms of renovating that.
But you know, you're right.
It's
I wasn't
AI.
thinking, I'm, you know, and to be able to see and, yeah, no,
It's gonna be
okay.
three-dimensional.
I have a
so-
whole new,
Yeah,
yeah.
AI is going to take it over, so. But to your point, it does need to be recognized by Brianna as something that was part of the collection at one point. But
Yes.
I think to
She
spend
probably
money on
has,
getting
I
that.
bet she's got the plans for it.
I'm sure she does have something.
Yes.
In the collection, yeah.
I think to be enriched by the Mound House experience, maybe we can take out the word unique coastal environment, because that's.
I'll take your.
What, Carrie, I'm sorry?
Oh, no, nothing, that's okay. I was just doing something, sorry.
Do you have anything to add? What are your thoughts, Carrie, about the vision?
Well, I like it and everything. I just think that, you know, us sitting here doing all this verbiage and stuff, I mean, I'm like, wow. But I think that we definitely need to work on some of the verbiage on it, but I think that we should all put in our opinions on that, but that's just me. I mean,
Yeah, and I think the disadvantage that you have is you do not have this version at your fingertips to refer to, and I think that's part of the challenge with anybody on Zoom. If there are new materials that are presented that you don't happen to have access to. Did you print out a copy of the strategic plan before this meeting, Carrie? So
oh,
that-
yeah, yeah.
Good,
I
so,
read through it.
okay, so.
got all the pages.
At least you, yeah, you have all the pages. We had to get some
Yeah, I
things
was gonna say,
reprinted.
I think I have more than you guys.
Exactly, exactly. So, but now, because you have that in front of you, maybe if you have any thoughts about how we could better word this, I'd be happy to hear your input, as well as yours, Ellen.
I don't have my paper copy with me. I did not anticipate being able to participate today, but my plans changed, so I am participating, but my documents are somewhere where I'm not.
Yeah, no, this is not the plan. This is the draft, a working draft of this plan, just to get the ball rolling. We'll have probably a couple of other meetings beyond this one to finalize this plan and have it so that everybody agrees. So, yeah, this is in the trenches kind of a meeting today.
So how about we consider putting it, like, is everyone comfortable, if everyone is comfortable using Google Docs or something similar, we could jointly edit, and it would attribute the various edits to the contributor, and then we would have just the working document that we're going to. Does that sound reasonable?
Exactly what I was thinking, and then that way it would be just so easy for everyone to see everyone's ideas.
Okay.
Otherwise, I mean, we're gonna be sitting here for 3 hours, and I can't, I
That's
mean,
true.
I can't sit here for 3 hours.
Well, I think the issue here is the sunshine law too, so I mean, you really sort of have to do all of this in public. And if you're doing.
But if it gets sent to Karina,
Oh, yeah, if it gets sent to
So if-
If it
Karina.
all gets sent back to Karina and she handles the doc, it shouldn't be an issue.
bring
Agreed,
it up again.
agreed. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so let's make that, an agenda item for Karina to take some of these ideas that we're working on, because we've got a long plan to go through, that Karina, you can we can maybe do a little wordsmithing and, send it out to, each one of us individually for our input, and then go from there. So I think we were clear on the mission, the way it's presented. We're going to be working on the vision with additional input, and again, to kind of simplify it, and to Lori's point about, enriching and educating, is that a synonym? Is that, one and the other? Enriching is probably a more broad experience, rather, and educating is sort of pedantic and more,
Yeah,
so.
I was thinking about it more, Barbara. It's almost like part of the Mount House experience isn't even the education, it's just enjoying the grounds. you
Yeah,
know?
well, exactly. And the grounds are educational too.
They are, but beyond that, there's more to it than strictly the cultural implications, the historical implications. There's the fact that it's an absolutely gorgeous place to see a sunset.
Did you like the wording unique coastal environment?
I do, I think Rich could work just as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to use them twice, but I think that either word is really good. But I'm kind of backing off what I was promoting before about educating, which now I think is too narrow as opposed to being
Okay.
broader.
Yeah, in other words, when people come away from an experience, they are enriched, and
Yeah.
they are and actually, I think inspired is a good word, because it's really inspiring you to get a greater appreciation for the history, whether it's Calusa history or botanical history. So but to keeping it in broad terms, and that's where this vision has to be very broad in terms of what it is that we're expecting from people, to what we hope that people can get from that experience. Okay, so I think that, Karina, does that give you some feedback then?
It does, yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the values. Again, these were based on what we had from the original strategic plan. Museum quality, there's diverse programming again.
But it is.
I
You know
think
what?
it's-
It's a perfectly good word.
I agree, but I'm just looking at, now, I guess maybe the practical question is, Karina, do you foresee a lot of grant writing that you're going to be doing that allows for us to even get grants?
We are talking with the Friends of the Mound House so they can hire a grant writer, so that we can,
I thought that was not in the purview of the Mound House, the Friends of the Mound House. If
For
you
grants?
remember, that was a staff responsibility, because staff has to be in the trenches as a staff person, a staff person who is writing a grant, whether it's town staff or your staff, Karina. They're the ones that are ultimately responsible for a grant, whether it's grant writing or grant applications or grant reporting. It is a staff responsibility, not the Friends.
right. Well,
So, yeah, I don't think, I think when we were having this conversation before, there was always the intent that, Friends should be fundraising, but they should not be grant writing.
right.
No,
Because
but
they don't have the
Are the
staff.
Friends just providing the funds
Well,
to
that's-
hire?
That's the whole, yes, but they're not gonna hire. they're going to provide funds to allow for somebody to.
Oh,
but that's
oh,
a-
sure.
but-
Well, it's
but-
not really hiring, it's,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so you're not, okay, that, you used the incorrect
you're
word
right,
then.
you're
I'm
right, yeah.
sorry, because, yeah, Friends do not hire.
Correct.
No.
The town hires.
Yes.
Okay, let's be very clear on that.
It is.
Okay. Now, if Friends will have as an initiative to, put in their list of things that they are going to fund, then, so be it. But again, that again, excuse me, Becky, can I just think?
I'm sorry, of course.
Can Friends direct town to hire someone?
No.
No.
Okay, so again, can't that be a directive from you?
It's really something that we have to talk, definitely with Jeff and have that conversation and see what's the legality.
Okay, and so
in
where
that.
are we with that?
We just had the conversation with the friends, so now we're looking into
Well, but
that.
we've not had a grant writer in 4 years. So what's happening there?
The town has no money, basically. We don't even have staff.
The education person, which is,
We-
yeah.
Yeah. There were 2 people there yesterday. I could come, basically, and that was a last-minute thing, and happy to do so.
And thank you
But
for
she
that.
said, I'm happy to do it, but what Karina said was, if she had been sick that day,
Mm-hmm.
they would have had to close.
Yeah.
And that's, so, to be even talking about the town hiring grant writers before we have more staff, and I think it was the idea that if maybe the Friends could provide the funding and just hand the sum over to the town.
Well, on a larger level, and I'm glad, John, you're here today, because this is not a CELCAB conversation, actually. This should be a council conversation, because clearly, this is a town budget-related issue that is hampering our ability to be successful as the Mound House.
I would also say, though, I don't disagree at all with you, but I think that it's a bigger issue than the Mound House in
Oh,
that
much.
we also need to be trying to get, we know how to get our sand replacement. We know how to get a few things. I think we've been very successful after Ian but it's going to be more and more challenging. And we need people that have skills to be able to do that across departments, not just one grant writer for the Mound House.
Oh, sure.
We need that skill.
Exactly.
And
hire people with that skill.
People, it is a very unique skill. And if you've done it for a while and you know how to do it, there you are.
I was the grant writer for the Ringling Museum of Art and also for Edison Ford, so believe
Yes.
me.
Are
You know better than I
Are you
then.
out for looking for?
No, I'm not. But yes, no, it takes a skill set, and it's all about the narrative. It's all about, selling what it is that you need funds for. It's very direct. Teresa was so incredible with writing the grants that she did that allowed the Mound House to be. I mean, there's just no question about the ability, the $1 million grants that she got, and even for the underground exhibit, that was $1 million that she got. So,
It was also a brand-new project, and that makes a difference,
it was a
too.
capital project, capital improvement project, exactly.
If we go back to this, and if diverse is gonna be a problem, can we just go back to varied? Isn't that your word?
That's what I actually just wrote down. I wrote down,
just
present
take it out.
varied
If it's gonna
museum
be a
quality
red flag.
programs.
It means
Yeah.
the same thing.
I would put it before museum as opposed to replacing diverse, though, just for the way it sounds.
Wait a minute.
Well, I just, maybe just say, present a range, a range of museum quality programs. A range of,
No.
that support the
Oh,
mission.
Provide.
okay.
And by the way, I just wanted to follow up on our staff. Mary, she is an educator that she will be starting on June 29th.
Okay, so
So
she has been
accept-
hired.
Yes, she's been hired, and her first day is June 29th.
And what is her last name?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, no, no problem. Anyway, so she is now a museum educator.
Correct.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that's a step in the right
a
direction.
step.
Does she have
Yes,
grant
yes, yes.
experience?
No, no grant experience.
Wouldn't that have been a criteria, I would think?
Well, at this point, she does bring a lot of, she does have the same credentials as Brianna. So she does have museum backgrounds, and she does have a lot of experience with volunteers. So she does bring a range of skills.
Okay, and was
So-
there another person that we needed to hire beyond the education coordinator? Wasn't there one other person that is missing?
Well, not at this time. Hopefully, next fiscal year, we'll look into those.
Okay,
other
so for a
positions.
long-range plan, that would actually be under operations?
Correct.
A long-range plan would be to hire someone who would be involved in either marketing or development that would have an expertise in grant writing, and that could be a long-range
That would
plan.
be,
And
yeah, that would be
well,
fantastic.
again, if it's 1 to 2 years, and if you're not talking about this budget cycle, we're talking about the following year,
Mm-hmm.
2028, that would be considered short-term.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think it's of utmost importance that the town, whether it's the council or the staff, recognizes the importance of how these nonprofit organizations run, and grant writing is a core element of it,
Yes.
beyond municipal funding.
Yes, and Jeff is very well aware of that, and and is putting his package presentation together to include what we need.
Okay. And of course, John has a good ear for providing that kind of support to bear upon the balance of the council members.
I make my case often.
Yes. Okay, so, continuing on, recruit and retain.
Did we make a decision here to present museum quality?
I think, my sense is that diverse isn't going to break the bank. Am I correct, Karina?
No, I mean, I can replace the word to make, to make it more, to flow a little bit better, but.
Varied sounds too wishy-washy. Let's leave diverse in this case, simply
Okay.
because
And
it's,
look for, I'll look for options.
okay. Well, if you have any other options, you can share those then, with Karina. Let's go to recruit and retain qualified professional staff.
Yep,
And that is, yep, and we have to just continue to do that. I think as far as the values in general are concerned, I think we basically covered all of the things that we hope to offer to the public with regard to our mission. And if you can notice that all of these are very actionable, so it's the present, recruit, provide, preserve, ensure, implement, and maintain. Should we move on to the next one, which is strategic goals and objectives? So here we've delineated, as opposed to how the original strategic plan was organized, we put it all in programs, collections, operations, development, and marketing. Marketing development is actually, one and the same, because their goal is to, bring additional money and bring additional people. But I broke it out into the two simply because one is more money-oriented, the other is more people-oriented. And I just want you to review that to see if that is something that you agree with.
I think they're different, yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then with regard to then of course the categories, then go into sequence with programs being first, then the collections operations. Now, what Karina has provided here, which of course I'm not in a position of providing, is who is ultimately responsible, what is the target date from their point of view based on limited staff and budget, and what the current status is, which then Karina can really speak to. So Karina, I'm gonna hand this part over to you to kind of walk us through.
Okay. So we're going through the first strategic goal, which is in programs. The first one is exhibitions. Maintain current exhibitions in good conditions. That's, we have our section where it says who's responsible, our target date, and what's the status. So for the first one is the responsibility of the museum registrar, and it's an ongoing event, which is a regular monitoring, cleaning, and environmental control are carried out by the museum registrar.
Is there not also the ongoing cataloging that's ongoing, that it's occurring?
Cataloging,
That's
yes.
under collections.
Yes,
Oh, it's
it's
under
under
collections, I
collections, yeah.
apologize.
So when it's, what does regular monitoring mean? Is that weekly, is that daily, is that monthly?
Monitoring is daily.
It's
A
daily.
daily walkthrough on the status of, the exhibit. That everything needs to be done daily.
I have a question. I always thought if I had a lot of money, I was going to give a chunk to the Mound House to weather strip the windows in the bathroom. Has that been done? Because you can see light under each one of those windows, which means that is not completely well climate controlled.
In the bathroom, before the collections were brought in, those were fixed.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Yes.
Okay,
Otherwise, yeah.
so it-
Achieved.
Achieved.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Right, so the second one is research feasibility to open underground exhibit. The director and the museum manager was a short-term goal, hopefully within 2026. And we're currently doing research to assess the feasibility of the developing an underground, not the exhibit, just the reopening at this time.
What is that involving?
Definitely all the safety concerns, which is the air quality.
Right, and who's doing that?
And I don't have the name of the company at this time, but I can get that to you. And
So,
then,
do you have like have they been out? Are they coming out? If so, when? What is the kind of
There,
report that they're going to be providing?
there is a company that's, we already had one done last year. We're doing another one right now.
Same company?
We're trying to hire another company as well, just to have different, yeah.
So I had a discussion with the town manager about this. I don't know if it was last week, the week before. One of the things that I had suggested is that when you hire consultants to do these types of reports, if they are given a goal, they typically will achieve it, whether that's to make something easy or difficult. And so therefore ensuring that we've got a varied view of the feasibility of reopening the Mound House with an optimistic outcome would be the best way forward.
Right.
And
Right.
so I believe that that's what's occurring.
Isn't that such a valuable thing to add, John? Because it's always about how it's presented. Give me proof that I need to keep it closed, they will provide it. If you give them the idea that, well, on all circumstances, we want this open, then they will respond appropriately.
We'll at least know what is required to open as opposed to
Yes, exactly.
roadblocks.
Right? So how is that? Yeah, that's a great point, John. And I think the idea here, Karina, is that staff presents to these consultants, what is it going to take for us to open this in whatever capacity it's feasible? and then they give us a point-by-point account.
Yes.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talked about was, under what options? Perhaps it can't go back to exactly the way that it was before, but we still need to be able to highlight the unique opportunity that we have at this site that doesn't exist at Pine Island. It doesn't, it just doesn't. So I don't know what the answer is by any means.
Right.
But there would be various options, I would think, on how it can be presented and how you can end up, maybe not the great immersive experience that it was before, but maybe we can, right?
And I think one of the conversations that came out of this idea of keeping it open was that part of the damage done from storm surges is also part of the educational experience. That said, okay, and when it first opened, it was this, and then we recognized with these 6 storm surges on this island over a 3-year period of time, that it became this, and this is part of our, life cycle.
Continue
of
evolvement.
Barrier Islands,
Yeah.
it's a very dynamic situation. So there's something to learn from that, because it's obviously impossible for us to go back to what it was originally. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep.
So with that, it's opening the underground exhibit with limited capabilities. Again, we're looking into different contractors for the air quality, for the safety, electricity. So those are all the main items that we need to address at this point, just to open it, and not have an exhibit per se like we used to have, just being able to see the mount itself, and that's our goal right now. And the next one is developing new rotating exhibitions. That's the responsibility of the museum registrar and the museum manager. And this is a long-term goal. And we are in the early stages of gathering ideas to develop new rotating exhibitions to keep content fresh, engage diverse audiences, and engage repeat visitation.
Okay, and of course, the elephant in the room there is budget constraints, but that's
Correct.
under budget. Yeah, so obviously, it's a program, this is what we're looking for, this is one of our goals and objectives, and the budget that'll allow this to happen, because, lending exhibitions and, developing new exhibitions that perhaps part of our collection can be loaned out to other institutions as part of a collaborative experience
Right.
would be encouraged.
Yes, and at this time, because as far as my understanding is concerned, because we are not accredited at this time, we are not allowed to receive collections from other museums.
Yeah, and so, but the collections are not accredited either, right? And I don't believe that the Pineland is either, right?
I'm not sure about that.
And maybe even not Marco.
They
I
would
know
have to
that
be.
Marco either I don't know, but I do know that in order for them to get the exhibit, the Marco cat and everything that they had, they went into extensive restoration and had very, very particular
Physical demands.
Yeah, very physical demands, yeah.
Museum practices.
Yes.
Yeah. But, they could be working on accreditation, but maybe they haven't achieved it yet. But I do know that sometimes, exhibitions can be loaned to a non-accrediting institution, assuming both parties agree and understanding what the risks are with regard to humidity,
Right.
temperature control, and security.
Correct.
Security is a big element,
Yeah.
which we currently do not have. and again, because if you go for museum accreditation, it is assumed that the institution, from the minute it opens until the minute it closes, is completely secure with regard to guards that will look at each guest that comes in and make sure that they're not touching or, you know, harming the collection or the exhibits in any way.
Do you see us getting to the point where we have a full-time guard?
Well, that's a good question, and it could very well be that, you know, there'll be security cameras around instead of having a personal guard. But yeah, it becomes, I mean, that's a key element. And again, humidity and temperature control. Do we have humidity and temperature control?
We do in the Artifact Preservation Center, yes.
Okay, in the collections area, but not the other. Well,
Not the
at
other.
least that's a step in the right direction.
Correct. All right, on the next page, on page number 5, in education, we like to develop a season schedule of tours, beach walks, and lecture. The development of the schedule is pending a new hire expected to begin 6/29/26. So that's the responsibility of the education coordinator. Update and revise volunteer manual. That's also the responsibility of the education coordinator. And I gave you a copy of the updated manual that Brianna was put together. So, but it always needs to be updated,
Sure.
so. The next one is the signage for self-guided tours of the botanical gardens. I'm currently working with the original designer and a private donor to replace damaged ground signage. So that hopefully be done by the end of this fiscal year. Outreach programs to schools and community groups, education coordinator. Again, we're pending the new hire to
Okay,
start
and that is the
coordinating that.
responsibility of the education
Education
coordinator.
coordinator, correct.
Oh, about I want to backtrack on the development schedule, and yes, she's coming this next month, which we're all thrilled about. But now, when does season, like when you're going to develop an education program and a season schedule of events, when does that season start, and how long is it going to take her to put that together? Would that be 3 months?
Well, the good thing is that she's starting now when there's low season. So I will have the time to work with her and get those things done ahead of time before she starts implementing, those events or programs. So I'm thinking at least 2 months, for her to get very familiar with what we offer, what we are. She needs to really kind of study our area a little bit, and in the meantime, we'll start creating those calendar and events.
You're starting to create. So are you saying that by a certain time, let's say October 15th, you'll have a full season schedule of contracted lectures, events, and programs already set in for the entire season?
Yes.
And is your goal October, like the beginning of the fiscal year, October 1? When?
Yes, correct. Beginning October 1st.
Okay, and would that go through April? What is your season with the Mound House?
Well, our fiscal year is from October 1st to September, at
Right.
the end of September. So that's what I'm hoping to get filled up.
For an entire
Yeah,
year?
for an entire year.
Okay. So you're not talking about a season, you're talking about an annual schedule?
I am.
Okay, because this says season.
Okay. Let me see.
So are you talking about putting together an actual annual? That's pretty ambitious.
I know. I'm aiming for that. I think it can be done.
Okay. So we'll change that then to develop annual schedule. And that would begin that would coincide with our budget schedule.
Okay, here the development of schedule. I didn't specify here if it was
I'm sorry?
seasonal. You said here on the status. Is that where you're
No, under education, under the actual
developing?
program.
Okay,
Develop annual schedule.
and yes, instead of season, it's going to be annual. And the reason that is better is so that we can work with other organizations in the area, that most of them have annual events and calendars, so.
Well, it's also vital for grant writing. In other words, if you're writing a grant for programs, they're gonna want to know, what are your programs? And you plan it out because, obviously you write a grant for the next fiscal year. So
Okay.
oftentimes you plan out 2 years in advance,
Yeah.
at least for the major programs, like
Right.
maybe your lectures, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, right now, my goal is just 1 year.
right, exactly.
Understood.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about
Nope.
the programs?
Okay.
No. Good.
Collections, implement new collections management policy, it's already done. It was presented to council
Excellent.
on 5/18. And it was adopted,
Unanimously.
yes.
Yes.
So then it's not ongoing, it's done.
Well, the policy always needs to be updated.
All righty.
Okay, maintaining exhibitions and interpretive signage, the museum registrar, it's an ongoing process, and the registrar ensures accurate records of object tracking and information consistency between collections and display materials. So that's ongoing. Complete artifact collection, documents and archives, the museum registrar, and that's a long-term goal. Currently, the registrar has access to catalog it, which is the museum's cataloging system, and is working towards starting the artifact collections documentation. So far, she's did an amazing job separating everything and organizing everything, kind of starting the whole process. So she's doing an amazing job.
And she's comfortable with the 2029 deadline?
So far so good. I think it's something that we can aim for. Yeah.
Fantastic. So is there anything under collections that you think that we need to add, or this is basically, like, I think maybe there was some question about deaccessioning and, again, with the collection policy, that are actionable items that need to be included in the strategic plan, or is this pretty much covering?
I think at this time, this covers everything that we are working on.
Now, this interpretive signage, that only covers the actual collection, not the exterior, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
All right, on page 8, under operations, attract, recruit, and retain qualified professional staff as the responsibility of the museum director and museum manager, and it's an ongoing process, target. And we like to, it's an ongoing process by offering competitive benefits, fostering a supportive and inclusive work environment, and providing opportunities for ongoing professional development and career growth. So we like to think that all of our staff have that opportunity. The next one is attract, recruit and train volunteers. The education coordinator and museum manager's responsibility. This is ongoing. And a volunteer program is currently being developed to provide meaningful engagement opportunities, clear roles, strong orientation, and training, and a welcoming environment that recognizes and values volunteer contributions. The next one is to implement an annual plan to maintain structures. That's the responsibility of the museum director, historical maintenance staff, and museum manager. This is ongoing. And the historical maintenance staff continuously perform preventative maintenance and groundkeeping while maintaining detailed maintenance log.
Okay, with regard to implementing, I mean, do we have an annual plan, and when would it be implemented? I mean, is there an actual written plan in place?
We do. The maintenance staff have a checklist of everything that he needs to do every day, and we keep a log of everything.
Okay.
And develop annual plan for programs. That what we discussed on the education.
Yes.
So does it need to be there?
No, I think we need to
We'll
remove this.
just drop it
Yeah.
because it's part of programs.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, why is that even in there?
I don't know.
It's a typo.
That's probably, yeah, it's a duplicate, obviously, we'll take that out.
Okay.
So am I to understand that the museum director has no direct responsibility of operations? Under that one, page 8?
It does have to implement the maintaining the structures is part of his
museum director,
yes,
okay,
yeah.
great,
The
all right.
hiring, the attracting, recruiting, and qualified professional staff is also a responsibility of the museum director.
Okay,
And develop a plan for culturally significant botanical gardens. We are working on that. The museum expects to work with a TDC grant to develop to continue to develop and implement a comprehensive plan.
is there a TDC grant available for funding a botanical garden?
The TDC grant does, it gives funding for the botanical garden, yes.
So is that a continuing TDC-funded initiative?
It is.
That TDC funds every year?
Yes.
How much?
It depends, because it's a big grant that I know that is part of, I'm not very familiar, but as far as I know, it covers the beach access,
Okay, and probably Newton Park, once
in
that's
Newton,
redone.
correct.
Okay, so
So
it's
once-
not just the Mound House.
Correct. So it's allocated to different.
And I guess, I know that this is a question that we brought up several times at our meetings, is what is a significant botanical garden? Because we have so many different elements of what used to be there, and to us, that was all significant, and it's no
Yes.
longer there. So I think it questions what, is a significant cultural or significant botanical gardens, and by whom would make that decision.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely something that we need to talk to Jeff, and I think we had many discussions about what we wanted around the gardens, and so far we always used native plants, and we want to continue that. But I know that the original plan had different aspects. I don't have that right now, but I know we had a medicinal garden, and we had a
Medicinal and scientific.
and scientific, yes. So but that includes many plants that are not native, so, that's something that we need to
And it also
discuss.
brings into question, with all of these reoccurring storms with this saltwater intrusion, is that, like the fruit gardens that we have, the fruit trees, is that even viable, considering the changes to our environment as to what
Right.
is sustainable
Yeah,
and resilient?
right.
So I guess my question is, we need to know as CELCAB members what those limitations are, and if there's, you know, a botanical landscape plan that takes into account the drought and resiliency and what can be sustained budget-wise for the long term while still keeping the predominant native landscaping, what does that look like and what does that include? And is that gonna be brought before CELCAB for a conversation?
Yes, yes, absolutely, we can
Okay.
bring it up into conversation.
So I just have a sidebar to that because I noticed when I was there yesterday that those plastic plants are still there.
No, not the plants.
No,
The
they're.
pots.
The pot, I know, but they're potted plants, right?
But they're
that
not
are-
plastic plants.
No, yeah, you're right, of course, yes. To your point.
Horrible.
There's, it was just, you know, because we're sort of talking about the natural environment, we're talking about, you know, landscaping, and I see those plastic pots. What do you, I mean, did you notice that?
Anybody.
Lori did,
Both
but-
of you,
yeah.
yes.
I didn't,
You didn't
but
know.
then I haven't been there in a couple weeks. so.
Okay, well, they've been there for about a month, well, several weeks in any event, so can you speak to that? Because I think there's, I think the town has other initiatives.
Well, that was just after we, let's see, let me go back. Remember, we had an archaeological mug dig, right? And we had those big,
Beautifully built
yeah,
archaeological dig
yes,
stations. right?
Correct.
They've-
For school groups.
right.
Right,
And so we had an event after that, and there was really no time to, they're really well built, so it was a matter of, oh, okay, what do we do? Do we take them away, you know, set it apart, kind of put it apart, but it's something that we can really use in the future
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So we had an event after that, and it's like, okay, what do we do? And we put it on the side, and Seth, you know, we tried to make it look pretty, you know, at the time. So there's none of those plants are not going to be planted on the ground because they're not native. They just look pretty, and but we're still kind of trying to figure out, you know, what to do with that.
All they are is camouflaging these big wooden, huge things that give the kids a chance to play archaeologist, and, you know, they're big sandboxes.
so what I'm hearing you say is now with our new education coordinator coming in, that program will begin again with school kids to do
Yes.
an archaeological
Yes,
dig.
yes.
So then where will those stations be?
Well, either, and that's what we're trying to figure out. Either in the back of the museum, in the back of the museum store, there is an area right there.
Right,
that's away
yes,
from everyone. So
exactly.
so that's
It's like a patio area.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
So that's an area that we're looking into putting those things there.
okay.
So,
And can the pots be removed, please?
Can they just be potted in clay?
we can do that.
Or mulch with the wire, anything but those,
Other than
it
plastic.
sends such a bad tacky
You got it.
message.
You got it.
does, I'm sorry, you know,
Okay.
it's a personal thing.
Okay.
But it's like these white plastic planters from
Okay.
probably Kmart, I don't know. But in any event, it's like, that does not, it's not conducive to what we're trying to present and promote. We don't want other people buying plastic pots for all those obvious reasons.
Noted. And we'll make it happen.
Yeah, and I understand, you know, the town's desire, because I talked to the guy, that he said, yes, he said, we're just trying to make this place look more colorful. Like he's in charge. So, anyway, but yeah.
He's doing his best to make it
He-
look better,
he's
and
just
that's
trying-
nice on the
and
part
I-
of an employee.
I loved his enthusiasm, I have to say. He was so just dedicated to making that ugly building, he said, you know, just prettier, with pretty flowers. So you gotta love it
We'll have to
for
go
that.
look at that.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
But
I think,
definitely noted, and we'll make it happen.
okay, thank you. So, yeah, I guess maybe the issue of the developing a plan, and that's gonna be coming up next year, then, and again, we don't have a sprinkler system, so.
No.
You know, in drought conditions, and we're all facing that drought condition, that the place is not looking its best as a result, but that's just the way it is, because
Yeah.
we're not gonna put a sprinkler system in.
Right.
Right.
All right, the next one is to follow the town's emergency management plan, and that's the responsibility of the museum, of the director and the manager, and it's ongoing. And the museum does follow the town's emergency management plan, and we do have one for the museum as well. Secure National Historic Landmark status. That's the museum manager's responsibility, and that's a long-term goal, 3 to 5 years. And I am in the process of reviewing the requirements and procedures necessary to pursue the National Historic Landmark status.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You are working toward that. That's
Yes.
awesome. And here, I think you can, you know, if you need volunteers to help, I mean, I think the Friends, because of people from the Friends that really helped with the other status that we achieved, the state status, that, you know,
is
whoever
national.
can help toward that effort, you can rely on them.
Okay. The next one is to secure American Association of Museums accreditation as the responsibility of the museum manager. Long-term goal, but the museum is advancing towards AAM accreditation by continue to participate in the MAP program and preparing the required application documentation.
Am I understanding with regard to current responsibilities, of which there are many, that the MAP program of what we've done the previous year and the status that we've achieved and the policies that we've endorsed will sort of be on hold until staff is in a position to seek the next step for the program?
Well, right now, I am working towards doing, there are several documentations that we need, you know, for accreditation. One was the museum, the policy, the management, collections management policy. And there's another one, and it talks about ethics.
Was governance,
Yes,
I know, is
yeah,
one.
yeah. So I don't think we need to work. We'll continue working towards that. We don't really need to wait for.
Okay, there's no particular time frame that you're looking to achieve the next step then?
Right, no, I'm just,
Okay.
just moving along.
Well, and I think you, in this packet you've given us, there's an actual code of ethics, or
A
that
code
was.
of, correct,
Right.
yeah. And that's one of the things that we don't have right now to go, you know, towards accreditation, so.
So that's one step toward
Yeah.
accreditation, okay.
All right, and.
And the strategic plan being another, right? Wasn't this one element
It
of what
was, yes.
was required of
Yes.
us? Right.
All right, the next page, page number 10, for development. Sustain fiscally sound annual operating budget, museum director responsibility. This is an ongoing, and the status is the director is working with the finance department to develop the next fiscal year 26-27 budget. That includes the review, or the next step, which is review of museum admission and fees and discounts, and that we're working with that. And then the next important,
So are you saying that we're not gonna do anything for this coming year?
as far as reviewing museum admission fees?
No,
and-
yeah, the review. That's for the following year?
For next fiscal year, correct.
Okay, not 26, 27.
I believe that we are looking to I think we're gonna keep the same as far as admission is concerned, you know, everything, I think we're gonna keep that
Okay,
the same.
so
Yeah.
we're keeping the current status and with the idea that the following year, then we would review, okay?
We will evaluate membership levels as the responsibility of the museum manager. I will evaluate the different membership levels. Currently, we have about 10 levels. And we'll identify a structure that better aligns with the organization's goals and audience needs. I think right now we have too many levels, and we can kind of consolidate some of them.
How, and I know we probably have this in your report for this month, but how are the facility rentals going?
We don't have any
What?
rentals
But you,
right now.
the chamber paid, right?
No, the chamber, because of, they always support us.
How do they
with different-
support us?
Well, we, every event that we have, we send it to them, and they market our programs as well. And, you know, we also like to collaborate with, you know, with organizations within the island. So.
Well, that's a cost outlay for you in terms of staff whenever an event like this is held. I would question that, actually. I mean, I think in terms of the chamber or nonprofit organizations that use the Mound House for their activities should be required to at least cover the town costs.
Yes, yeah, I understand that, but I know that we also receive, you know, and I understand this is a case-by-case situation, but when they provide grants as well or donations, you know, we kind of like to do in kind, you know, that kind of relationship.
Well, was it a Chamber of Commerce meeting?
No, they had a party.
A party.
It was their annual meeting.
And
Their
how many
annual
people
meeting.
attended?
Yeah. Close to 70, I believe, something
I
like
see
that.
that as a real marketing opportunity,
I was
and I
thinking
think
the
it's
same
worth
thing.
I think it's worth the cost,
And I would think other organizations might follow, because it's such a lovely setting.
yes.
I had bought a ticket for it. I wasn't able to go because I wasn't feeling well that day, but my wife went to the event. She said it was really well attended. It was attended by a lot of people that are very engaged with the town. And
Maybe who
I
have never
think-
been there before?
And I think it could have maybe intended consequences of
yeah.
these people are all moving in the same sort of groups, and then I think what we may not see something directly like we would if it was a rental fee for it. And I'm not making policy here, I'm just giving an opinion. However, I think you're more likely to see engagement with the friends by folks that were previously not engaged and showed up for something like that event.
And to take names and take note and, you know, follow up, most importantly, it says, oh, I'm glad this is your first time visit, I hope you come back, and oh, by the way, we've got blah, 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 and get them on a mailing
It's
list.
an opportunity.
Right, and what is our policy with regard to facility rental with organizations like this? Because I don't believe we've ever set a policy that dictates which organizations get a freebie and which organizations do not. Is there a policy?
Not that I am aware of.
So
But I
does
think
the
a
town
case-
have a policy, do you know of?
I think we did at one time, years ago, have a policy.
That's what I thought. You know, like say, for example, if a church comes in, I know we
Well,
charge them rental for
there's a
that.
there's a rental structure.
Well, but that's the
There
whole
is a,
point.
correct,
If
there is a
somebody
rental
uses-
structure, and there is a fee, a lower fee for nonprofits,
Right.
yeah.
But
Okay,
I-
but there is a fee for nonprofits, which
Correct.
the chamber falls into. I just wanted to know what is our policy for why we allow some and not others to have it for free?
Well, I think if she says case by case, if we put everything down in black and white, you can't make exceptions without going for more permission kinds of things. And I'm thinking after Ian, an awful lot of people were using the Mound House because there was nothing else. And that was, that was a service that the town was doing when they could. And I would prefer to leave it open, and to judge.
It's good.
What do I
goodwill.
get out of this?
Yeah.
Is
As
this
I-
helpful for me, or is this, especially we are still in the post-Ian years?
We are, but as I recall, we did not have rule over it, the town did. And the town made the decisions for our usage of the Mound House.
Well, that, I think you're right.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
That was years ago.
Years ago.
And I rented
And I
it,
don't know if that will hold true, it's a different town.
Well,
yeah, I rented it in March of 25 for a service for my husband, and everything was handled through the town,
Right.
so.
does the town then dictate?
I'll look into it. I'm not sure what the policy is, so I will look into that.
When Brianna, who is responsible for our collections, I know there was another event in addition to the chamber event. There was another event when she gave a
It's her
presentation.
presentation
Yes.
on the 25th.
Right,
Yeah.
Right.
yes. And we had, what, 70 people for that as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Don't we have a limit on how many people can accommodate the building itself?
We do.
The fire hazard?
Yes, and I believe at one time, I believe it's 125 people in the museum at the same time.
I think it's 40 upstairs, or
Something like
40
that.
in the, yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw the sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's another point in terms of how many maximum. I mean, if everybody from the chamber would have shown up, there would have been 200 people. So
Right,
you
but-
let
yeah.
every one of these groups know that there is a limitation.
Right.
I guess my concern
I
is
signed a
mostly about.
contract, so, I
Right.
signed a contract with specifications, and I had a tent, and there's certain specifications, and only certain companies who know how to accommodate that.
Yes, yes.
Right, right,
All of
right.
that.
So, it was through the town that I, well, Karina,
But if it's through the town, Karina had to be,
well, Karina had the contract, I mean, I
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
went through her,
okay.
but it was to the town. It was-
Sure.
She was
Not to
acting
them.
for the town.
sure.
So,
But on that note, I'm gonna check on policies and see
Okay.
what we need
I
to
think
follow.
that, yeah, I guess, just for clarification, I need to know what is the responsibility of the town, and more importantly, when I ask you these questions, I'm concerned about the collection. I'm concerned about the exhibits, I'm concerned about damage or any kind of liability, and what happens if a guest falls down on a piece of furniture and it breaks, and what happens if oh my gosh, what is the word for it? Not the visqueen, the display cases, the vitrines. The vitrines, when they're, if they're jostled and something breaks in the collection's display, who's responsible? And to what extent should we limit the
Mo-
attendance?
Mostly it's outside, with
Yes,
a tent.
Well, no, this was all, I mean, like for her talk, Brianna's talk, that was all inside.
Yeah.
There was no tent.
Yeah.
So those are just my
I'm
concerns.
sure there's liability insurance.
And for
Yeah,
any,
you
yeah,
have
for
to get
every
insurance.
event, including the chamber, they do sign a contract and they provide insurance. you
Okay.
know, So,
Good,
yeah.
good, good.
And there were certain specifications how the tent is put
Yes.
up, and, it
No
was
driving
quite
For
stakes.
the
Involved.
tent, yes, exactly.
with barrels and whatever,
Yep,
but it was an absolutely lovely.
yes. No, that's wonderful.
Couldn't have been a better
setting.
place.
Right.
All right. All right, so, membership levels, rental fees, increase annual net revenue for the museum store. I am currently working with visitor services to add an online store to the museum's website to expand access and increase revenue. And that, hopefully by the it's a pretty extensive process, so I'm hoping for fiscal year 27, 28.
So when you say work with visitor services, what is that? Who is that?
Sandra.
Oh,
Sandra,
that's Sandra.
yeah, she's the one who runs the store. So in order to get the all
So you
the
should
inventory-
say work with visitor services staff then.
Staff,
because
yes.
it just, I didn't know what that was, so that's a
Okay.
staff person, okay.
yeah. The next one is secure sponsors and partnerships. And the responsibility of the museum manager is ongoing, and working with the Friends of the Mound House for their support in fundraising efforts and secure sponsors and partnerships. Next page, page number 12, for marketing.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brianna,
No, no.
can we go back to page 11 on
Of
the,
course.
on that bottom page? Secure sponsors, and are you giving all of that responsibility to Friends, or is staff person responsible for that in any way?
At this time, only the Friends are doing it.
Okay.
You
And
know,
are
I
they aware
can,
that they have to go out and get sponsors?
yes, they are. And,
It's a wish list.
yeah, it's not something
Frankly,
that I
but-
can really
Well,
do
I,
at this
I
time.
think the question, yeah, I guess it's sort of the cart or the horse situation, right? Where, you know, you as the museum manager give them, these are our financial needs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then, you know, they're the ones that get the sponsors or the donors to contribute
Right,
to these things that have already been outlined by you as to what needs to be funded. So, but I guess I think the concept was that the town would form these sponsors and, you know, kind of working with partnerships like hotels as part of a marketing plan, you know, not necessarily maybe for the, well, I see what you're saying, the Friends can do that too, right? I guess we just
So
don't
this
want
is-
to be
This is Ellen, I will
cross-purposing.
weigh in on that.
Yes, thank you.
Karina and I we're working on an overall park strategy. I missed, the Friends had their board meeting yesterday, which I missed because I was flying, or Tuesday rather, whatever, I missed it. But I had designed a written report to Beverly, and in it I said that by the June meeting, Karina and I would have this joint plan. Karina and I have been talking about this and meeting about this for a few weeks. So we'll have something definitively on paper by the end of June.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ellen. Great answer. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so there is an actual planned goal for this coming season for sponsors and partnerships that benefit the Mound House.
To attempt to obtain.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, I'm not doing
And
that
we're-
goal
we're-
stuff. You gotta do 5 of these things, but I also think that the town could also be responsible for some, and maybe should be responsible for some of, big sponsorships. Like if somebody is going to sponsor the whole rehabilitation of the underground, that shouldn't go through the Friends. That should be the town, I
So
think.
John.
we are currently in discussions about what types of donations we accept, what strings attached,
Sure.
which ones we wouldn't want to accept,
Gift policy.
the whole gift donation policy, and if something's, as you mentioned earlier, capital versus an operating gift, and what is the ongoing maintenance if you actually accept a gift and it's not.
In kind.
All of
Yeah.
those different things are currently being worked
Wonderful.
by council.
So that's town-wide, that includes the Mound House.
It includes the Mound
So anything
House.
with regard to gifts or in-kind contributions or sponsorships would go through the town.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And a lot of it is brought on, of course, by the upcoming fireworks that's being done.
Right.
There's been so much outpouring of support, and we really want to just make sure that we do it properly. You know,
Exactly. Oh,
that it's
that's-
just done properly.
Do you all have a deadline as to when that is?
I don't know what the deadline is, although it is, an MNP packet meeting, and it's moving forward.
Okay.
We're addressing it as we go through it, so I don't know if it'll become well, it wouldn't become an ordinance. I'm not exactly sure, but
The
it's,
last donation policy was accepted, no, for the last council?
I'm thinking it was accepted, and then that's all that was required. I don't think it needed another reading, but I'm a little bit foggy on it, sorry. But I know it is
But-
either has just been addressed or is in the process of being implemented.
If it's, and they're talking about if it's donation under $10,000 or over $10,000.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Some is at the discretion of the town manager. If it becomes over $10,000, then it has to be brought back to council, and we have to have a discussion about it, ensure that it's in the best interest of the town. So there's, it's significant and it's good.
Very good.
So is that, if it has been adopted, then is it a matter of public record? I mean, so if any of us can, if we, for example, come up with somebody who wants to give a donation that is not appropriate, where do we turn to vet that before it goes further?
You come through staff.
Okay.
You go through staff it'll ultimately be Will. If it exceeds his authority, he will then provide staff's recommendation to town council to actually vote.
Okay. So if somebody wants to donate a pink elephant and it's under $10,000, it's Will's call?
Pretty much.
Just rhetorical question.
Barb,
Yes.
I have an appointment that I must attend.
Oh, yes, of course.
And the problem is if I leave, we don't have a quorum?
We do.
We do. Okay.
Yeah, with the other two.
I was concerned whether or not the physical quorum had to be here.
No, it can be.
Okay.
I think, that's a good, is that,
I'm not sure, let me ask.
I can
on
stretch
this.
it to 3:15.
okay.
Well, let's just get going here.
Let's get
Okay.
going, yes. It was
All right.
3:15. Thank you for
So,
calling us on task for this, because we need to move on anyway.
Yeah.
We jump into the weeds pretty
We-
easily,
well,
and I
it's-
apologize
yeah,
for
no,
that.
that's,
I-
it is part of the process.
It is.
We're close.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go into marketing.
okay, and actually, marketing is the last section.
Right.
So the first one is to evaluate and measure current marketing strategies. That falls into the museum manager's responsibility.
That's actually exactly what we said before in development, was it?
With the visitor services?
Yes, yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same verbiage. Now, if it needs to be in both places, then it needs to be in both places.
No, we can just, under
Well, one had
development.
to do with funding, and the other had to do with people. I think that was how we
Okay,
were
okay.
categorizing it. So, for example, a membership program isn't necessarily under marketing, it can be under
Okay,
development. So,
This is here, she's the person to ask about if Lori, if she needs to leave, would we have quorum to continue?
Well, with a 7-member committee, we do need 4 physical committee
Physical,
members
Lori's
present
Okay,
to have quorum.
okay,
Okay,
well, let's
thank
go
you for
fast
that.
then.
Okay, we
Okay.
will move forward. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much for
Thank
that
you.
clarification.
You're welcome.
All right, the next one is to develop an annual marketing plan, museum manager. I'm currently working with the Friends of the Mount House for their support in fundraising efforts and to secure sponsors and partnerships. So they're helping me develop a marketing plan.
But their their marketing, I'm not quite sure.
No, they're helping me create a marketing plan. So, but it's not the Friends marketing, it's for us.
Okay. And does that marketing plan that staff is going to implement or Friends going to implement?
Staff.
So you're,
Support in
Asking-
fundraising
Right.
is
I mean,
where
I
the
think,
friends come in.
yes, support, I understand, but not develop.
Uh,
Volunteers do not develop the staff's marketing plan, is my
no,
point.
they're just helping me develop it. Well, I guess I shouldn't even have put
I
the
think there's
Friends
got to
there.
be some better wording, because that's not their
That's not what
responsibility.
it says, though. It says work with Friends for their support in fundraising events and secure sponsors and partnerships.
Right.
So that doesn't say anything about Friends developing it.
Okay,
So
so just,
I will weigh in on this because my job with Friends now is to be the chief fundraiser. So I see Karina and I being hand in glove with each other in support of what Karina directs us to do. You know, at this point, the Friends' sole mission is to raise funds in support of the Mound House, and that will be at the direction of the museum manager.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's the clarification. Thank you, Ellen.
Right. Karina's the driver.
Yes, exactly.
The decider.
We ride shotgun.
There you go.
Okay. Do you
Keep going.
want to rewrite that, or?
That's it. It's just asking for fundraising
Okay.
efforts.
So you're
That's all.
saying we don't have an annual marketing plan now?
No.
Okay, but don't we need one for next year?
Yes.
Well, why does it say 27, 28?
26, 27. I'll fix that.
And I would think that we would need to do that for the marketing strategies as well. So the target date is this coming fiscal year, not next year.
For the marketing plan.
Under marketing for, all of that should be for this upcoming fiscal year, 26, 27.
Okay. All right, submit application for TDC Arts and Attractions Grant. That's done yearly. And actually, our next deadline is next month, I believe.
I think so.
And we do that every year. Maintain and update website. I am looking for a new company to improve our website.
Yeah, I
And
remember
to,
you did mention that last month. Where are you
It
with
was,
that?
I already have a quote and everything that needs to be done, so I'm in the process of revising that, and hopefully within the next few weeks, we can get that moving.
Okay, so within the month, then you're going to
Yeah.
have a new website person in place?
Yes.
Okay.
The next one is to increase social media presence with measurable outcomes. That's the museum manager's responsibility. That's ongoing. And we had contracted Trujillo Media to create content and increase social media presence. And the outcome is measurable. You do have a copy of the latest report.
We also utilize our public information officer as well there's been a lot of
Great.
videos that we've seen on Facebook and things like that. Lots of Mount
Right.
House.
And they're
Content on
being
Facebook.
shared with the town as well. Develop annual marketing plan.
You did that already.
Okay, this is
Yeah, that's
done.
redundant, so we
Okay.
need to take one of those
Yeah.
out. So let's just take that one on the last,
Remove.
on page 13, just eliminate that one.
Yeah,
But you might want to take the status and move it into the thing as opposed to the Friends
yeah,
thing.
yes,
Oh,
yes,
I
yes.
see what you're talking about, Brianna, because under status, you have different wording
Yeah,
on
use
page
that one.
12
Yeah.
than page 13. So which one do you want to use?
I'll use the development of a marketing plan
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
next fiscal year's plan to be updated on a yearly basis.
Okay, so just take
Yeah.
that narrative and bring it up to the page
Yeah.
12 then, okay.
All right. Schedule appreciation events for volunteers and members, museum manager, and that's done yearly. A volunteer trip to Marco Island Historical Museum was organized in April 2026 during Volunteer Appreciation Week. And we will do some kind of trip or event for volunteers in a
Well, so we
yearly
can take
basis.
that out, because that's already happened. That happened last month.
But it has to happen every year.
But she just has to put down, will organize in 2027,
Okay.
or 2026, actually. No, 27, yeah, 27,
The volunteer trip in April 2027.
yeah. God, doesn't that sound weird, 2027?
Yeah,
I know.
Alrighty.
I know all of the 20s have sounded weird to me.
Oh, my God. So just take it, not in past tense, but future
In
tense.
future, correct. All right, and the last one is research AI marketing strategies. And I am currently enrolled in an AI course to enhance operational efficiency,
Good for
marketing
you.
strategies, and visitor engagement.
way to go.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brianna. That
Alrighty.
is fantastic. I mean,
And that was your
Rita,
suggestion.
That's awesome.
I
Okay.
think I noted all the changes and all the things that we will continue to discuss, and if you have any questions for me.
Okay, I think that we've basically addressed them as we, went through that document. So we'll look at draft, if you can then title this next one Draft 2.
Yes, I will.
And then when we get it for next month, then we can look through and we can check our notes and just kind of determine that all of those changes have been made.
Okay.
So as far as your staff report is concerned, maybe you can give an update. You've given us a lot of information here with our materials.
Okay. So basically all the ongoing programs and events, we continue to have yoga every Monday at 9 a.m. on the grounds.
Now, do we charge for that? Is that?
No, that is contracted through the town, and the instructor pays 30% to the town for every participant. that is
Okay, so
student.
it's through their rec program, not through the Mount House program.
Directly through the town,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We continue to have our volunteer orientation every first Tuesday of the month. We haven't had any volunteers this past month, but there are several FGCU students that are wanting to volunteer. We had a total of 96 students on a field trip, April 1st and 2nd. We were able to do it with the support of 5 wonderful volunteers, and Brianna was leading the whole field trip. So it was a really very nice time. As I mentioned, the Mount House celebrated its volunteers with a special visit to the Marco Island Historical Museum on April 14th. And we sincerely thank our volunteers during Volunteer Week and every day of the year for their continued dedication and support. The Artifact Preservation Center's first anniversary event was held on April 25th, and it was very well attended, and as we celebrated this very important milestone. The evening brought together supporters, partners, and community members in recognition of the center's impact and continued growth. For this event, Beach Talk Radio invited Ellen Vaughn, who is the chief fundraiser for the Friends of the Mount House, along with museum registrar Rihanna Vaccaro, to promote the first anniversary event. Their appearance helped generate community interest and support for this celebration. The Lee County Visitors and Convention Bureau filmed a promotional video on the grounds of the Mount House, and this footage will be used in the tourism marketing campaign to promote Lee County's unique visitors experience. And I sent a link for the final product. We were really proud that Mount House was there.
I'm sorry?
I sent a link.
A link? Oh,
Yeah.
Is this the link here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
On April 12th, we were able to, our museum registrar Brianna, she did a outreach event at the 6 Mile Cypress Log Preserve. And it was very well attended, and the people were very enthusiastic, wonderful feedback. And her presentation was so well received that she has already been invited to speak at another event this coming January.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
For professional development, Sandra, our visitor services staff, participated in the American Alliance of Museums workshop. I'm in charge of a museum store, now what? So that really gave her a guidance on how to start the museum online store, and just general guidance on retail best practices. Operational updates, the kayak tours and beach walks are still on hold. Hopefully, starting in July, we'll be back to normal. And our new education coordinator expected start date is June 29, 2026. And the next pages that I brought you was just a Facebook performance matrix for Facebook and Instagram. And basically, we continue to grow our audiences.
This is obviously online, and so on a 6-month or annual basis, can you look back and really get a sense of the outcome of your marketing efforts into how it's increasing over a period of time?
I believe we can.
So then you can get
double
an analysis, because it's great when we look at this, but we don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get a report from staff on a regular basis that, our social media is growing exponentially. Perfect case scenario.
Okay. Now, remember that I started doing this in January. So that's all the data I have so far.
Right,
from
but we
January
will
to
then,
now.
this coming January, have a year's,
Yes.
right. And so this has never been done before?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about Google, what was it, the reviews? I know that was big with Allison.
Yes. And we continue working with that. So to respond all the Google reviews that we have. And I know another thing that she was very big on was TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TripAdvisor, yes.
Yeah.
So where are we with TripAdvisor?
I don't have anything, no, I have to check on that and see where we at as far as,
I mean, obviously, with Hurricane Ian, and then it was, obviously the pandemic before that, it's very difficult to gauge how our
Right,
success
yeah.
rate has happened. But it would be great, from, say, 2025 forward, to be able to have a running account of how our marketing achievements are bringing success.
okay. All right.
I think
I'll
that
look
was
at that.
measurable outcome, which I think was
Yeah.
what Jeff was referring to.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that's all I have for today.
Okay, I have this paper that says Chair Smith stated, oh, that's the minutes.
Yeah.
That's not in,
No, those are a copy of the minutes, and then I did include the last meeting, it was mentioned that you wanted to, I was gonna give you the new updated volunteer
Handbook.
handbook. So this is the one that you have there, it's the updated.
Which I think
version.
Emily did, and then Brianna worked on
She
again.
worked on it again, so. she
fantastic.
updated it.
Thank you for this,
Of
too.
course,
That's
of course.
very, very helpful.
Okay.
Okay, does that
That
conclude your
concludes my
report?
report,
Or our-
yes.
That's our old business, but now let's
That's
find out where my
Kathleen
agenda
on
is.
board.
Okay. Is that old and new business combined?
It is.
Okay, where did the old business stop and the new business start?
The,
We
well,
didn't have new.
the old
Actually, it
think we-
might just be this last yearly, the report, right?
The old business was the strategic plan. We also, the volunteer handbook is something that was asked last meeting.
Okay, so
And
basically, all three of those, old, new, and staff liaison, have all
Correct.
been presented.
Right.
Okay, all right, thank you so
Of
much,
course.
Karina. With that, we'll begin with Lori to see if there's any report on an individual basis here that we haven't covered.
Well, I think we worked very hard and got a lot accomplished today.
I have nothing.
I have nothing, Barbara Hill.
I have nothing, Becky.
Okay, and John, how about you, from your new position here, being our liaison on council, in terms of what we're hoping to accomplish and
Well,
moving
I've,
forward?
the collections policy, obviously, we spoke about that ahead of time. We've gotten that moved forward. Anything that you asked me to bring up during my weekly town meetings with the town manager, certainly do. They've been very responsive to that.
Great.
There is, I think, a renewed effort to, as you can see by the activities of trying to understand what the options might be for getting the underneath the ground back open. So if there are any other areas that you would like me to focus on, then I'm all ears and happy to advocate for you.
Excellent. Thank
Great.
you. Well, I appreciate your work on council and your work here with the CELCAB.
I enjoy it.
Much appreciated.
I concur.
Thank you.
And quick question, do you have any idea what the funds are gonna be like for next year? That,
No, we haven't
budget?
got, one of the things I did ask, actually, and Karina provided it through, was what was their revenue loss from the kayak program.
Yes.
And pre-in numbers were north of 35,000, and now we're at a couple thousand.
Yeah.
So that's a significant operating opportunity, I would say.
Reason for the
Absolutely.
new education coordinator to get on board yesterday.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. So, so that's one of the things that I decided to take an initiative to find out just what would be the impact, or what has been the impact of losing that program. What else was I going to say? Nothing other than, we've been supporting the Mount House, going to these events, and both with membership and I really like being on this committee, so thank you.
We like having you on this committee. Thank you.
I have a question about budget, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Is there, I know we need educational person, and I always forget which is are you the director or the manager?
Manager.
You're the manager.
Jeff
So
is
is
the
there a
director.
plan?
Sorry, I didn't answer the question fully.
I'm so
Went off
sorry.
on another tangent again, but, so the whole budgeting process is what's going on right now, and the staff are having to present their budgets and options, and with the potential for funding changes, considerable funding changes to municipals with the homestead exemption referendum. So that's causing everybody to kind of take a couple of different views on, what if scenarios. So it's very challenging right now to do the budgeting. It's going to be challenging to actually bring the budgets forward, but I know that they're diligently working on it, and that's one of the main areas of discussion for our Monday town council meeting is just when are we going to have our budgeting sessions? They typically happen the very beginning of September is when the budget gets approved. It's actively worked on, of course, up
so
until
the
then.
recovery continues.
Yes.
It does for us all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next meeting date, we're looking at June 25th. Does that meet?
I cannot be here.
All right, Betty, oh my God. So is there anybody else that cannot make it besides Becky?
I look good for,
I'll be here.
June 25th.
You'll be here, okay. And Ellen, will you be here?
I will be here.
Okay.
I have a commitment.
Okay,
I'll have a hard stop at 3:00 though.
Okay, all right, good point. Well, duly noted, Ellen, thank you. And Carrie, how about you?
She's long
think
gone.
She's not here with us.
Okay, so
And Sherry, we don't know
is-
about.
She never did.
no, she
okay.
won't be back.
Sherry won't be
Right.
back by then.
No, I don't believe so.
I have it in my calendar.
Okay.
All right, so June 25th it is. Any items for next month's agenda? Obviously, there'll be a continuation of looking at now draft 2 of our strategic plan. Anything else? I think that's it. Oh, maybe we can have our new education coordinator come and introduce.
Certainly hope so.
Oh, no, she won't be here because she doesn't start
29th.
till
The
the 29th.
29th, right?
Oh. Okay. All right. Motion to adjourn?
I make
So-
a motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Carolyn. Second?
Second.
Becky, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion, meeting adjourned, and it is, what time is it? 3:14.